also known as the Galactic Spiralite Priestess, Makala. All right, today is one of those days where yesterday the energy was like super high, and it's even higher today because we've had some energy spurting off from the sun, and one of them is right now at this moment impacting Earth, and then another one that had already happened that's supposed to be impacting us probably in the next few days. So there's a lot going on, and if you're feeling kind of like, oh my gosh, I just want to lay down, oh my gosh, I just feel like, ugh, but guess what? If you allow yourself to process and to integrate these, hi, to integrate the energy coming in, you will be, hold on a second, you will be in this space of really getting a lot of your energies activated. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm trying to get this straight. Where's not? All right, fine. You're just going to have that. Okay, so let me put it to you like this. You might want to get some water because I will be giving some codes that's going to help you with more intuition, connecting more, connecting into your higher self more. And it's really interesting how the energy is so heightened that what you're thinking, saying, doing, what all of it is aligned like this. Okay? It's very important that you keep your mindset clear. Okay? Keep it where it's not in what I call toxic mode, where you keep reliving things over and over in your head. Your traumas. Those are the things that you want to be able to clear right now. How you self-talk to yourself, things that you might be judging yourself on. This is not the time to be doing this. This is the time to liberate yourself up. This is the time for self-love. This is the time for really joining up in your sacred heart and being connected through your sacred heart, through the divine, that one true source, God source, not any made-up source energies of God's that don't listen to you. Okay, let's just keep it real. The old indoctrinated ones that are false ones that don't listen to you, that don't hear you. But the one true that you come from, that is a part of you, that is connected to you, that's the one that hears you through your higher self. When you give yourself permission and allow yourself to be connected. Sorry, I have to keep reiterating that because people keep forgetting you have that connection. You don't have to go through another human being, a two-legged person, to have that connection. I have to say it like it is because that is the indoctrination belief that keeps a lot of us left behind, following like sheeps. All right? I just got to keep it real. So when you know, you know. That's how it is. When you know, you know. And those of you that are moving into your path, you're doing your work, you have been clearing a lot of your ancestry stuff that's going on, and you might be finding yourself being challenged by people that you thought you knew, and how they are literally sitting in the background judging you, how they're literally sitting back talking and saying things about you. But they would never just say it to your face, but they'll do it behind your back. Let me tell you something. People who do that with me, little weird things start happening around them when they start saying, when they say my name, and then they start talking stuff. And if it starts going negative, little weird things start happening in their offices, little things happen around wherever they're saying it. So a lot of us have that, what we call that, it's like a shielding thing that is over you because you're here to do something. You're here for a bigger purpose. You're not here to be putting up with gossip and stuff that is targeting you because people don't get you, okay? Pay attention to how you're integrating these new codes that are coming in, because it is going to take you up higher into that energy of yourself. And here's the thing, you're going to know that you're vibrating high because people are going to be looking at you. They're going to be staring at you strangely. They're going to be trying to figure you out. Why do you feel so? Within the past 48 hours, I went to, now, if you've been following me for a very long time, you know me in the history of Winco, the grocery store Winco, okay? How I find it very challenging to get in there. Hi, lovely. Hi, lovely. So the first time I went into a Winco store, I couldn't handle the energy in there. I felt like I, I, I said, no, I can't do this. And I made a video on it, and people were laughing their asses off because I literally was sitting in my car talking about how traumatized I was going into a Winco store. So, Winco is like a mixture of, oh, let's just say, a little bit of Costco and Target and Walmart all rolled into one. There you go. And it's just all about these big ass aisles and all this food selections and stuff to choose from. And you're just trying to figure out where's the freaking pasta sauce, or where's your eggs. Now their eggs in Winco were running $6.99. Grocery Outlet, I told you what Grocery Outlet was doing. And now all of a sudden the prices of their eggs are coming down, like to $7.99, $6.99, $8.99. I'm like, oh, see, and I say it very loud. Oh, you're letting the prices of the eggs come down. They're not low enough yet. And I keep on walking. So, and then there's Trader Joe's, and then there's Sprouts, and how they're doing their prices. But yeah, it's this game that's going on where you have to make your decisions. Do you want to pay that amount of money at that store for what you're getting, or do you want to go where you can get a better pricing? So that's the game we're in right now, and it's so crazy. Now, as these energies and frequencies keep increasing, the moon was off the chain last night. The energy, the way things were moving, because we have all these solar storm things hitting us, it's not done. It's gonna keep going. Okay, this week, get your organite on, get your talismans ready, get your waters, get your electrolytes ready, get your black obsidians, get your black tourmalines, get your hematite, get your rose quartz, get your labradorites, get your kyanite, black kyanite, get that going, get yourself ready, because it's the amount of energy that's coming at us, and you're trying to integrate it as fast as you can. It was the Sabbath and the Memorial Day of Christ and many yesterdays. Yes. So this is that energy that's coming in right now. Now, here's the thing. You're going to feel a lot of timelines. You're going to feel a lot of timelines of your past. You're going to see a lot of timelines of things coming in that is going to make you say, wait a minute, do I still feel the same way about this? Do I still feel that kind of connection? Okay. If you come from your place of your heart, you're going to know that you're not, if you come from a place of your heart, you're going to know that you are not still in the alignment of that energy. Let's just put it that way. Okay. When you come from a place of your heart, your higher heart self, if you're not coming from that place, you're going to feel like you are repeating a timeline, an energy that made you feel guilty, that made you feel like, oh man, this is how I felt when I was doing this, or when I was going to church, and the reason why I left the church was because of this, or the reason why I left this organization because of this. All of that's going to start coming up. This is where the test is. Okay, this is where the test is. This is the test that says, are you still buying into that third dimensional timeline? That's all there is to it. I'm calling it like it is. Speaking the truth on it. Are you still connected to that third dimensional timeline? Because that third dimensional timeline is the one that is the old belief indoctrination. Okay, this portal that we're in right now is matching everything that's going on with the sun. Everything that's coming through that sun. All of those important sun codes are coming through that sun right now. Okay, so this is where you really, really want to pay attention to how are you really feeling inside? How are you sitting with yourself? What's your truth? And are you going to be easily persuaded to do things that you normally would not do? Okay, I'm going to use this scenario. This young lady is dating this guy, okay? And this guy happens to be a really going to church person and everything, but she's not one that participates in that. She doesn't like it, okay? So she gets an invite that she needs, she's invited and, you know, wants to go to this, was invited to go to the late Astara Mass. I'll say it that way. The late Astara Mass. And she's like sitting on the fence with it. She said, well, I don't really do this kind of thing, but he's inviting me, and should I? I'm like, that's up to you. I said, what's the name of the church? She says, I think it's Harvest Church or something. I said, well, right there, they're telling you what they're going to be doing. Sorry. I'm just huge on words. Sorry, I got enough going on, and I don't need some other organization trying to harvest my energy. I'm sorry, I just can't. I'm saying it like it is. This is great. If you're doing that, that's good for the young souls. But when you're an old soul like me that's been around, like many of us have been, and we've been through the trenches, we know what time it is. We know what the Mandela effect is. We know what the gaslighting is. We know what the whole controlling of the masses is. We understand what the words are. We understand what the spelling is. We understand how we've been spellbound. It's a little hard to try to go backwards and just pretend like you don't know that. No. Once you know, you know. And that's why you keep moving forward, because that is the true awakening of your DNA coming online. If you go backwards, you're denying yourself. If you go backwards, you're denying yourself power. If you go backwards, you're denying your true connection of who you are for the sake of others who want that control. I'm just saying it like it is. And I'm sorry, but that time is up. It's been up. And there's some that still need to do that. Nothing wrong with that if you're going to do that. But just pay attention. Pay attention to the wordings. Pay attention to where you're stepping into to go do that. If it says harvesting church on it, what it's telling you right there what they're going to be doing. What are you harvesting? Think about it. What are you harvesting? Why would you call your church that? Just saying. Okay, thank you. If this was such a true, validated thing across the board, why are there so many different names for all these different churches if you're worshiping the same God? Why? Shouldn't it all be one name, one everything? If it was the truth of it? What is each person getting out of it? Think about it. So this is why I'm saying this is going to be that part that's the test, the trickery, to pull you out of it. Then I hear earlier today that the Trumpsters have signed, okay, now pay attention, has signed an executive, some kind of bill or law that no more working over 32 hours a week. And any company, don't I got to double check into all of this because I was like, what? You know. So any companies that are working any employees beyond 32 hours a week, they're going to get in trouble for it. They're going to get fines, and then they can even get jail sentencing if you're working anybody over 32 hours a week. So this is something, supposedly he has signed a bill that's going to be going into law. Now, I'm going to show you how this is all tying into today's Gamma Kin number 20, yellow resident sun, okay, which is a portal today. I'm going to show you how this is tying all in. So, okay, so now he's put this into effect. He's made a bill. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting on a Capitol Hill. Well, not. You remember that? Remember that? Yes, I just heard it today. And I want to say it was on, oh God, who was it? I don't think it was Benny. Might be Barry. Benny or Barry. I got to double check it because when I saw it, I was like, what? But yeah, it's a bill. He signed a bill. It was a bill. Yeah, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting on a Capitol Hill. Remember that back in the day? They used to just put those nice things on TV and we would sit and we would sing the songs with it because it was part of programming, teaching us, teaching things. And I used to always look for that what was that, Grammar Rock and the Rock Bus, or whatever that was called, something like that. But I'd be like, oh yeah, I like it when they bring this on. They did the bill, they had the noun and the verb. They had something else. I think they had math. Remember all of those things that they used to do? And I was just like, oh yeah, I like that. But that one always stuck out in my head because he was this little crumpled up piece of paper, rolled up paper, walking around waiting to get approved, but then he would get vetoed. Well, if I get vetoed, then I got to go all the way back, and then it has to go back through Congress again in order for it. And then I became a bill, and he gets all happy because he got a bill, and he's got a little gold thing on him. And I was like, oh, that's how they make a bill. But still, I was like, well, what does that bill really mean? You know? Okay. So here's the thing. He's got this bill. No working over 32 hours. Okay, I don't know when it's going to kick in, but he got it. The reason is because when they start releasing the funding that is tied into your birth certificate, if you haven't done your research on that, please go look that up. I've talked enough about that, and then there's others that have gone into great details about it. But when that funding is going to be released, they don't want you working yourself too much because they're already going to be giving that money back to you that has been traded on you in the stock market. Yeah, you were the stock, baby. Yeah, we were the stock in the stock market. How's that make you feel? And I think more than anything, as we get this more intense energy codes that are coming through, what's going to happen? Now, this is what's happening to me personally. I find myself when I'm getting the codes in and I start to Especially if I'm laying out in the sun, I start glycering. I'm getting the codes. Okay. After I get the codes, then I go shower. Then I get myself situated. And if I go into bed and resting, that night is the night when it starts integrating. You start feeling the spinning, you start feeling this waving, you start feeling these chills going up and down your spine. And then it starts to feel like you're getting kind of lifted, and then it goes back down, and then you feel this. That's my experience. And then when you wake up, you're like, God, what the hell? Where have I been? You're like, oh. So you're processing, your body's processing those codes coming in. All of those codes that's swirling around you is talking to your DNA, is talking to your light body self. That light body self is getting elevated up because it's got to hold those codes. When that light body self is holding the codes, it's going to start lifting the physical body. This is why we're tired, because you got to get lifted and you have to sync up. And this is why we're tired. We're like, oh God, I don't want to get out of bed. Just let me lay here for a little bit. And laying down is a good way to process. And I'm going to say this. It was many, 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 many moons when I was a youngin'. How the elders would always say there's going to come a day where a man is not going to be able to stay standing up on their feet long because the energy is going to be so high. They have to lay down because the gravity pulling of everything that the earth is going to be going through is going to be a heavy process, and there's going to come a time where we cannot stand up. You have to lay down. Pay attention to your animals. What are your cats doing? The cats are a huge sign right now because they're the keepers of doorways, portals, and stargates. They are the watchers of those. They will see things coming through a portal that might open up into your home and you not know it, and they'll see it coming. And they can go and deal with it, take care of it, before you have to figure out what the heck is going on. They have the DNA genome inside of them to go do that. That's what the cats are for. And they're good at it. They were very much so used in the time of Egypt and all the times that are coming to be of Egypt and the pyramids. They are the keepers of the temples. So they know, they already innately know what they're supposed to be doing. Okay? So all of this processing of this energy that's coming in is going to have you a little like, oh my God, what the hell? I'm trying to get myself together. So this energy of today for this kin, the yellow resonant sun, it says, I channel in order to enlighten, inspiring life. I seal the matrix of the universal fire with the renaissance tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of free will. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me now. Now, that word free will is your signature. Anytime something's coming around in your space and you say, you're infringing upon my free will, I don't consent to this, it leaves. And being at the pool yesterday, I was playing north, east, south, west. I was chair hopping, lounge. First of all, when we got there was a group of individuals. They were all in the hot tub area and the hot whirlpooling area. And it was a little weird. It was kind of like weird energy. And so the youngin', she wanted to get in the water, but she was scared to do it. She's like, I don't want to get in the water yet because of the weird people. I was like, well, just wait a minute. I'm going to raise the frequency up. Saved by the bell. So I raised the frequency just saying, I'm hoping you guys will have a wonderful day. You've been out here a long time in the sun, and I hope your bodies are doing well. Maybe it's time for you to eat. That's all I was saying. Hey, lovely. That's all I kept saying. I'm sitting there. We're sitting off to the side and reading a book. And I have to honestly say, probably within 10 to 15 minutes, that we were sitting there, they got up, they went over to the guy that was laying down, they got their stuff on, and they started walking out. And the young lady saw us sitting there just relaxing. And she goes, "You girls have a wonderful day. Ladies have a wonderful time." I said, "You too, darling. Have a good one." And they walked on out and they left. And I said, "Now will you get in the pool?" She goes, "Oh, yeah, now I'll get in the pool." Okay. And I said, "Wow," just sat there and wished him loving thoughts. And you're hungry now. Go eat something. Yeah, so we had that whole pool area to ourselves for a whole hour. So I just hop from lounge chair to lounge chair, laying out in the sun. And this one chair I laid on, and I was relaxing, and I had my eyes closed, and I kept feeling something fluttering around me, and it's a yellow jacket. And I said, "Oh my God, dang you! What do you want? You're infringing upon my free will." Flies away. Then I closed my eyes again, sneaking back over, trying to go and get. I said, "Hey, you're infringing upon my free will. Get out of here." Then it comes back over. I said, "I'm going to tell you for the last time. Do you want to have a demise?" Then it leaves. It leaves. So I lay there. Then I go to another chair. And it was right after I laid in the last one. And I'm face on, which is one of my favorite places to be when you're looking at that sun face on. Now keep in mind this was like 3:30, and I'm face on with it. And I just closed my eyes and I just make that connection. And I said, whatever codes are coming in are the utmost highest that I need for my work, to be of service, to do what I need to do. Please allow them now, and allow the divineness of Creator to anchor them through. And boom, got it, started processing it. And I was like, okay. So once you get those codes in, when you get yourself home, or you decide you're going to submerge yourself in water, you're going to just say whatever codes are in my etheric field, my astral field, my subtle body self, my embodied light self. Please allow those codes now to integrate with me. Allow me to take those codes in. And you're going to feel that mergence. So that you, when you speak that and you say that, it allows you to integrate it at the time when you're ready. Because when you integrate and you do it with an awareness, okay, now you got those files on. Now those files are being activated. Okay, now the next set's coming in today, and tomorrow is really going to be one of those intense days. And then on Wednesday is going to be another intense day. So we got these energies coming in that's going to impact a lot of codes. You have to keep yourself hydrated and be in a place where you can handle it. If it becomes too much, this is where you talk to your divine team and you tell your divine team, say, okay, I'm having a hard time integrating some of these codes. Is there a blockage somewhere? Is there something off kilter? Can I please have assistance to clear that? And this is where you have your divine team, whoever's on your divine team that you work with, that can help you process and clear that blockage. Okay. Now, one of the things I've noticed since these codes are coming in, how many are noticing the heighten of your intuition? Your synchronicity is like off the chain. You reach for the book and you're thinking of something, and boom, your hand goes right to that page. All of those things are lining up more and more and more. It's like being effortlessly aligned, but yet so divinely magical at the same time. Are you having that experience? I hope you are, because that's just showing right there how much alignment is going on. So now this next part I want to share with you. is pay attention to people who are paying attention to you. Okay? This is kind of like a two-part thing. Two ways to look at this, excuse me. Two ways to look at this. Okay? Now I want you to think this. As you're processing, you're getting those codes, right? Your energy is going up and up, okay? You got that glow. Got an energy, okay? So when you walk into places, you know how you attract that energy. Hi, lovely. Hi, lovely. You attract that energy and things start getting busy in there. Okay, there's another part to this where I noticed when I was walking around in Winco, because it's a store I don't shop in. It's just too, you know. So I'm walking around, got the basket, and I watch how people get all jammed up in that one section. I'm like, look, I just got to get past you guys. I'm not, I shoot through. So I come into the produce section, and we're looking at, you know, she goes, oh, I want some strawberries. I'm like, okay, pick out your strawberries you want, and get your apples, and I'm walking, and I pass by this lady and this daughter. And as soon as I went past her, I felt this, and I turn around and I look, and she's looking dead at me. And I go, and she goes, and I'm like, okay, she felt me, all right. So I go and get myself, she's over at the cart with her daughter, she keeps doing one of these things. Like this. And I'm like, come on, hurry up, let's go. Somebody's trying to tag on me. So I get past that and I go on about my business. So that was there. Then today I went into Lowe's, and this is another place I don't go into very often, but because I'm working on a certain kind of project, I went into Lowe's to go get this. And I went in, I didn't even know where to go, said, okay, let me go to the nursery department, they'll have what I'm looking for. And I'm like, where is it? And my team's guiding me, go around, and it's right there. Okay, get the things I need. I walk up and I go to the outside register right there in the nursery. And I'm standing there in line. And this lady is ringing up this guy. And I'm just standing there, just holding my stuff and just waiting to pay for it. And so the other manager comes around and they're talking as she's ringing up this guy. So I'm just like, okay, I got to get to so-and-so because I got to meet her at 11 o'clock. And looking at the time, it's 10:45. Okay. So they're doing their thing. And then I catch the manager lady and she's like this. And when I catch her doing that to me, I go, and then she goes, I go, okay. So then I'm like, okay. Then I kind of turn around, I'm looking, I'm doing my thing, and then I catch her again doing this. And then I come back and I go, like this. I'm like, just staring at it. So then I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you're acting like you've never seen a glowing light buddy person before. Y'all know I got something for that. You know I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I'm not from this planet. I'm just visiting for a season. I see you guys still have a lot of processing you're doing, and you're still behind. How's my suit doing? Is it okay? Does my suit look good? So I finally get up to the register. Then the little manager decides, and this is how I knew she was NPC. Oh, let me go ahead and change money over right now. And in my mind, I'm like, you had time to do that while she was ringing up that guy, because she wasn't in the register at that time. She'd already processed it. You could have stepped in right then and there and got that done before I got up there. So I'm just standing there and I'm waiting. Then the lady that's ringing me up, she's doing this. And I go, hi, how you doing? She's like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah. Don't be all up in this grill. You can't handle it. This vibration is too much for you. Oh yeah, every single one of you gonna be saying that. So I finally get out there. I ring up. She rings me up. Oh, I don't like this burger. Oh, let me put this one in. Oh, okay. I go, I don't need no bag. Just receive would be just lovely. Oh, you don't want me? No, honey, no. I got time for you trying to wrap up. No, just give me that. Oh, okay. So she gives it. Here's your receipt. I go, thank you very much. Gotta go. Come on, let's go. Got time for NPC land. I gotta get out of here. So I went on about my thing, but this is gonna keep happening as you keep increasing, okay? Because it's kind of like Constantine. Constantine is exactly like that. You're going into that lower vibrational world, and they're following that light. They're like, what is that? And they're following it, and they're trying to figure out what that is. It doesn't belong down here. It's like that. So every time we simulate those codes and we take them in, you're going to be emanating that. So imagine if you got it loaded up with a lot of codes of love vibration, healing vibration, you're coded with it. And you decide you're going to take yourself to Safeway, or better yet, Target, or better yet, maybe some kind of clothing shop place that has low vibration. And now you're stepping in there and you got all that. And now you're sending out a pulse. You're it. You're the freaking crystal. Here's another thing. And I got rattled on one of the words. You know how we go through and we listen to words, simulate how they sound the same when you're listening to certain words and they sound the same. And I was like looking at something on Sage Goddess. Okay, yesterday she had a bomb.com circle gathering. She did it live, and she had all the people that came to the store, to the center where she is. She took her store back. She took her Sage Goddess back. She got it from that ex-husband to be. I said he wasn't going to, you can't do that. So she got that, everything back, and she was on there. And so when I went to the webpage, she had something there, and I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, wow. I think I want that. So I was getting the item, I'm looking at it, and I said, isn't that interesting? Certain things that I'm thinking about are what I'm resonating with that, and I find it, and it comes to me that easily, and I'm able to get it and just do that. I do ride shares, and sometimes my energy knocks people out who are trying to get into my stuff. Okay, that you're what it is. I'm going to tell you what that is. When this is going to happen with all of you. When your vibration is really high, and someone else's frequency is really low, and they're not used to being around a really high vibrational being, you can knock them out. They will go to sleep. They will get knocked out because they're not used to that. They're already a depleted being trying to function. They're overworked. Their adrenals are shot. They are just hanging on to whatever life force that they have left. And then they get into your light body vehicle. And now they're like, oh my God, I can't handle this. I just went to sleep. Because the energy that people have that are really high vibration, it just knocks the person out because they're not used to that. They're not used to that frequency. And this goes the same for certain shamans that you might come in contact with, certain healers you might come in contact with that you're going to go do ceremony with, and you get in their space and you're there, and the next thing you know, you're trying to figure out, why do you feel like you're so sleepy? Because your body's trying to catch up to where their frequency is, and it can't do it yet because you have to slowly be calibrated. to get into that. Okay, so the two words that I was looking at. Sorry, I was jumping around. Now, listen to this. Crystal, Christos. Crystals, Christos. Crystals, crystals. Crystals. The crystals, the crystalline, the crystals, the Christ consciousness, crystals, the crystals, and the crystals. Now, I was messing around with those words and I kept saying it so much to where all of a sudden the crystals were showing themselves where they came from. And they were talking about how old they are and that they come from the Mother Crystals. And I said, you mean Mother Gaia or Tiamat or all these names that we have for our Divine Mother Earth that we're living on? I said, yes, we're her plasma. We are her crystals. I said, yes, you're crystals. And said, crystals. I was like, damn, that just puts a whole nother spin when you talk about crystals. You're wearing Mother Earth interplasma light on your body with your plasma light. Let that sink in. Let that sink in right now. People went into the earthing, the waters, yes, the sacred waters, went into that. They took her crystalline plasma that hardened up, became crystals. Okay? So that you can utilize that. You can have a part of her on you. Whatever part that is that had all these different parts of her. Her purple part of her aura, her green. The blackness is the ethers of herself, the depths. The red is the fiery, the passion, that energy. And then she has the softness of the gold and the silver. She has those colors. The blues are the waters of long ago that have transformed themselves, have turned to crystals from her crystals. And I said, oh my goodness, thank you so much for sharing that with me. I never even looked at that word and that word at the same. Now I see that and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Never really looked at it like that. Those are those moments of wisdom, knowledge that comes in and it just blankets you and makes your eyes go like this, that big. And it's like, wow, thank you for sharing that. So you're going to have a lot of those intense moments. So this week, we're building up to a really big, intensified energy that's going to keep rolling through on the 29th. Stefan says it's 29th. We're having different types of plasmic solar activity that's coming off the sun that's directed at Earth, and we're going to be impacted by it. And he says we're looking at a possible G1, maybe G2, but he's keeping an eye on it. So I will, every time he does a post or whatever, if you guys haven't subscribed to him, I would highly suggest you do, because at least he's staying on top of it and he gets it to you as fast as he can so that you're aware of it, because it's in those moments when stuff happens and you're wondering why you're walking around feeling killywampy and feeling like, oh man, I feel like I'm kind of detached in my mindset. What's going on? It's because we're being so bombarded with this energy and a lot of heart stuff and throat. Like you have pressure in your throat that's moving stuff out. So you really start speaking your truth. You're getting a lot of this third eye sinus pressures right here. And then the top of the head is buzzing, doing all that. Yes, all of those things. That stuff is going on. So some of you, depending on what codes that you used to carry in other lifetimes are coming online to assist in this lifetime, you might be activated codes for earthquakes, activated codes for the sun codes when the plasmas are being released and you're feeling it. You might also be when the Schumann resonant shifts. You're feeling that in your body. Depending on what your codes are, you're getting the signal that there's been a shift. Okay, all of us have our points of signatures that allows us to understand when something is taking place. You're feeling it. You feel it first before you hear the announcement of it. And then you are able to correlate it and say, oh, that's right. I felt kind of off. I felt dizzy. I felt like I had to lay down. I had a migraine. And now this popped up. The reason why you'll be able to start correlating that, because if you start seeing a rhythm, a pattern of it, you'll know that's what codes sync up with you. You're sensitive to that code, okay? So pay attention to that. That's why getting a journal is really good. We got some energies we're going to be moving through. So today, with that being that yellow Renaissance sun, it's a yellow, it's Pluto, it's the chakra crown, it is Earth family polar. We do have a rune, the Laguz. It's the flow of water that which conducts. That symbol right there. It says in the galactic culture, individualized diversity is subsumed into mythic diversity. So we're in the third mental sphere, fourth dimensional cosmic cube, beta awakening conscious mediumship. Gate 144. Okay. Unseen powers are active here, powers that are nourishing, shaped, and connected. The attributes of the runes are water, fluidity, and ebb and flow of the emotion, careers, and relationship. The Laguz also encourages you to immerse yourself into the experience of living without having to elevate or understand. It speaks to the satisfaction of emotional needs to awaken of the intuitive or lunar side of your nature. For while the sun strives for differentiation, the moon draws us towards the union and merging. So this rune is all about, it's a time for cleansing, reevaluating, reorganizing, realigning. The rune is a deep knowing. It may call you to study spiritual matters in readiness of self-transformation. Success now lies in contacting your intuitive wisdom and attuning to your own rhythm. A rune of self relating rightly to this self signifies the alchemist called the conjuncture or the sacred marriage. In fairy tales, it is the end where the hero and the heroine live happily ever after. So is this going to be a happily ever after movement? Is this what we're stepping into? Because everything is kind of doing this timeline lining up. It's a timeline lining up thing. Okay. So now I have to, before we go into the read, I have to talk about pay attention to something that when you do your work and you're constantly doing a lot of giveaways, like I'm always giving, doing, whatever. And what's happening in the universe is noticing that. And the universe is going to start surprising you and giving things to you through people. And let me tell you, thank you so much for the love. The past week and a half, I have been inundated with so many wonderful gifts from people. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you that are members here of the Be So Light Tribe. Thank you for buying my ebooks and getting copies of them made so that you would have them. Thank you so much for visiting my webpage of galacticspiralite.com and just going on and just really understanding what I offer, who I am. And the only thing I ask is just don't come at me thinking that I'm going to fix all your demons and stuff. Because at this point in the game, and I'm going to say it again, you have to break those contracts. You got to do that work. I can help you lay the energy in place, but I am not going to take that on. That is yours to do. That is yours to break that. And it depends on how long you've been dealing with it. Sometimes you got to go back to the source of energy. Where did it all begin? I watch people come in and they get their healings. And after they get to a certain point where they really have to dive in and do something, if something triggers them or they get ticked off at me for something or I didn't jump fast enough for them, they get all bent out of shape about it. But when I come and ask them what's going on, let's talk about it, they don't want to talk about it. So I'm like, okay, bye, cut you loose. Don't have to talk to you now. I'm not, go on to the next healer and start your process all over again, because that's the rhythm that one chooses to do, because they never get to the next level because they get triggered or out of place on something, or something that has occurred, and they have to break that pattern on their own because it's something that they are choosing to carry. Okay, so let me start with this young lady first, who sent me a beautiful, beautiful, she has an SD store. Her name is Heather Marie Owens. And she has an SD store and it's called Heather's Owens Design. And she has glass, jewelry, and photograph work that she does. So it's on the SD store, Heather Owens, OWENS Designs. Okay, Heather's Owens Designs. Write that down. So she sent me a beautiful card. And I want to say, Heather, if you're watching me, I want to say thank you so much for this. And I got your mailing address, so expect to see something from me. So a beautiful card with the hummingbird and the flowers. I love hummingbirds. And hummingbirds and Lemurian on my calendar has a lot to, is in my calendar when I got my Lemurian chart read. And it says, Felicia, thank you for all your incredible gifts that you bring forth into the world and teach others to do the same. These prints are a small token of my gratitude. I am so glad to connect it with you. So for my birthday last year, she made me a beautiful print. And she had it mailed to me. And I think I showed you guys this. And she does put crystal prints. Okay. These beautiful prints. And she does this work with them. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So when I opened up the package, she makes me some miniature ones and got me this one. Then she made me this one. And you have to like sit with them because they have like a frequency on them. So pretty. Then she made this one. And they're on a high gloss. And then she made this one. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And when I opened it, I just felt this rush of beautiful energy. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. So Heather, thank you so much I'm a huge supporter of SD. I love going on there and getting things. So thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that. So she got me that. Then I get a phone call, and a friend of mine says, well, she's also a spiral light practitioner. So she says, hey, I need you to, you have time to meet up with me? I have a gift I want to give you for all the support you've given me since my mother had passed away, and I really want to show my appreciation. I said, honey, I'm there for you because your mom made the bomb.com bread. Okay, and I love the fact that she took it to heart to make that bread for me. And with her being on the other side now and you're processing that, I just wanted to be there for you because you're processing. You know, it's just human kindness, you know. And thanks for allowing me to come and be there and to help you with your process. That's your processing. She goes, well, I just wanted to say thank you. So the first thing she made me, she knows I'm a beader. I love beads. So she made me a beautiful mandala that is Super 7 beads, amethyst, black obsidian, and I forgot what the green ones were. They're not aventurine. They were, I think, green quartz, rutilated. Okay, beads, 108 beads with green tassel on it. I was like, oh my gosh. So she had them in this big box with stars all over it. And I was like, oh, I'm such a sucker for boxes. So then she beaded this, had this beads for me. And I thought this was really, really cool. So a bookmarker. And then, now keep in mind, when I saw this, I was like, what? What? I've been looking for something to simulate that because certain stores I went to, they didn't have the right one that I was looking for, the right goddess form, the right, or they were out of it, or they didn't have the one I was looking for, or the ones I was looking at, they just didn't do it for me. And she goes, well, are you ready? Okay. This is the cosmic, how did she put it? The cosmic goddess mermaid that holds the actual crystals here and has her tail and she has her beautiful hair. When I saw it, it has sacred geometry symbols on her. Look at that. Look at the details. Absolutely gorgeous. I was just like, she goes, that's how much you meant to me, what you helped me with. I said, do you remember when you signed up and I started thinking in my mind, remember when you signed up and you signed up to become a practitioner and you struggled, you were scared you weren't going to be able to do it. And I said, it's my ones that struggle the most that turn out to be my best students and my best practitioners. You are going to do this and you will get this, hands down. She's good at what she does. And so when she finished the course, I watched every single person that has become a practitioner. It is not about just getting the medicine of how to be a spiral light practitioner, how to walk with that medicine, how to utilize it. It's what it's going to do for you. It's going to open up that next level and give birth to something that you're supposed to be doing. And I've watched every single one of my practitioners walk on to something that they never thought they would be doing. And they got synced up, and now they're doing things that they never thought they'd be doing. So, yeah, she designed this. Absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And the energy off of it is just amazing. And she's holding real crystals here. And amethyst, of course, and labradorite. So I said, I want another one. And so she's currently making another one for me. And I'm not going to show that one just yet until it's ready. It's not ready yet. But I told her, I said, can I have one with purple, like a purple tail and blue hair? And this time, could I have one where it holds like a plate and I can put my own style of crystals on it? Okay. In my bathroom, she sits in the tub taking a bath with the tail. Yes! I have a little mermaid too. I have the seashell and a mermaid that sits in the bathtub area. So this was just beautiful. And she actually called this one the Nubian goddess mermaid, cosmic goddess, Nubian. And I said, yeah, she knows. Nubian. Absolutely beautiful. I was just like, absolutely. And she sits on the crystals in front of that nice piece of labradorite that I just got. So, and her name is Angie's Skin, beautifulskin.com. So I'll get all of her details and I'll put it in a post for all of you. So if you're interested in that, you'll have to DM her. I'm just giving her some time to get done with a few things that she's doing as part of some things of giveaways that she's giving to other people, because when you're healing, that's something that happens. You start to express the giving of the heart, and the heart starts to open up and it's healing. And so her artwork and what she's making is helping her express that. She showed me like the baby goddess that has the little bum and little short little fins. I'm like, oh my God, they all have such beautiful characters. So everyone just send her love, that she will be able to take pictures of it and make a little website where you can take a look at them, and she'll be able to put them. But these are going to be one and originals. These are not going to be like mass produced. And that's the beauty of when you make something and you're doing it by hand, and you can't ask a machine to mass produce it for you, because then it wouldn't have the magic behind it. It wouldn't have the potency behind it. It wouldn't have your signature of energy on it. So her designing that and for me to have it, I was just like blown away. And then there's still more stuff coming this week from people that have been sending me things. So I want to just say to all of you, thank you so much. This has not been an easy path. And I'm not coming on here trying to get millions to watch me, trying to get thousands to watch me. I'm just simply showing up, doing my work, and I'm keeping it real. And you know what? I say it like it is. I really do. And if some of you got sensitive ears, my apologies, but I don't have time to sugarcoat stuff for you. I can't. We're way past the sugarcoat time. We're way past cavities. We're way past filling time. We're all about let's level up and let's get past all this. So the more I can actually help people to see themselves and to really truly step into yourself and stop fearing yourself and stop buying into the old storyline that you were handed to believe about yourself, and to break that. I had to go through and break it. Now I'm here to help you break it so that you can step forward and do what you need to be doing, and not living from words that your parents said to you that were limited beliefs, things that were marked on you from certain groups and organizations of their limited beliefs on you. You know, I remember the time when I was going to school and I was, before they discovered I had dyslexia. And, but what does that really mean? It just means I don't relate to this type of language. I have to calibrate it and see things in a different way. It's just I have an intelligence in a different way that's not just boxed in your way of believing that I'm supposed to show up that way. It just doesn't work for your way you have it laid out. So I just remember this teacher, lunar teacher, I'll say, how she kept me after school because I couldn't get my division right. And I was kept after class all by myself in this classroom. And I remember how she was on the phone saying, I'm running a little late because I got this little black girl in here who doesn't know how to do this division right, and I'm trying to teach her how to do it. I'll be home as soon as she gets this. God only knows how long that'll take. And she hangs up. And she didn't know I heard that because she was talking so loudly in a corner of the room when she was saying it, and I heard what she was saying. And I just remember sitting there in a chair, and it brought me to tears saying, God, am I that stupid? I'm that dumb. I'm never going to know anything. And I remember she walked past, and she said, you're never going to get this. You're only good for just, I don't know, babysitting and house cleaning. Just, that's what you're good for. And that was the first one to say it. She wasn't the last one to say it to me. But then I remember after I left that class and I went and I got finally moved up to another class because she literally was going to fail me because I just wasn't getting it. And my mom went in and told her, I will teach her myself. You're not failing her. I will make sure she'll go to summer school just so she will not miss and be dropped behind. She says, my daughter's going to get this. Then I remember this lady. The next teacher I got, her name was Mrs. Golden. She was this beautiful copper skin black teacher, and I never had a black teacher before. And I just remember when she walked in, she had really long, black, straight hair. She had a smile that lit up the room. And I still remember what she said to this day. And she said, don't let anybody ever tell you you are not good enough, that you can't do something, or you'll never be something. Because as long as you're in my room, you're good enough, you will succeed, and you will be something. She was one of the best teachers. I still remember her to this day. Mrs. Golden. That name alone, Mrs. Golden. Now if I go back and I was to decode myself and look at all the hidden gems of people that came into my life, they were just moving me through this matrix of all this convolutional bullcrap that we have to go through before we wake up and find out who we are. She was Miss Golden, was her name. The golden light activator that was going to leave her signature imprint on her students to let them know, no matter where you go, what you do, you're good enough. Her job was to simply break the old beliefs of what others had put on the students. Her name was Miss Golden. Beautiful. She looked like she could be a model. She was always dressed to a T. She always had the best, and she made sure anytime when when she would call in a student and they would give an answer, they would say their name, say why they're giving the answer, and they made sure to call her Miss Golden. My name is Miss Golden. It is nothing else. Miss Golden, you will address me as that. It is out of respect. I will address you by your name. You address me by my name. She got respect day one in that classroom. Day one. She was the bomb.com. So I had no idea I was going to talk about that. This is what I'm saying. A lot of things from the past will surface up. And it's kind of like having a manager life review of how far you come to this point right here, right now. Right here, right now. Where you are sitting in your life right now, what you're doing, what did it take to get you from that point A all the way up to this C point where you can see yourself? And some of you might be just going through a process right now where you really have to release some things and let go of some things. It depends on what the language is that you're saying to yourself. Sometimes you're not going to get those thank yous. Sometimes you're just not going to get them. And that's okay. Because I've done things for people and given things to help some people. And the people that I would think that would have the kind of decency to at least know that I'm thinking of them and I'm sending them some love, and I want them to try the codes to see if that can help stabilize them to get them to their next level, what it is that they're trying to deal with or trying to heal. And don't even get a thank you. But that's okay. Because divine grace will come to you no matter what. So I'm just getting inundated with that. And one of the biggest ones is coming. And that's the one where everything in here is going to change. To have that final place that I want to call home. And build from there. And it's coming. And I feel it, which is really good. So I share that with all of you because I know some of you are struggling just a little bit. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, the teachers, this is the thing about teachers. They are beautiful gifts. If you're a teacher, you have to make sure you leave a signature on your students, because your signature that you leave on your student can either mark them for greatness or mark them to never become great. You got that power to activate that student, to keep going, not give up, to keep going. And so many of us, if you get a bad teacher that tries to keep you in a box and judges you on your colors, still got some of those running around. And that was all the way up to my nursing days, trying to graduate, and that teacher was going to try to not allow me to graduate because of an error that was set up. And then someone else made a more devastating error with a patient that could have killed the patient. Mine was just a flipping colace. And this patient gave, this nurse gave insulin to the wrong patient. But because she was lunar, she just, oh honey, just read the papers. Pay attention to what you're doing. That was more detrimental. Person wasn't even diabetic. She gave insulin to somebody that wasn't a diabetic. So I was like, wow, was going to try to throw me out of the thing with Colace, giving somebody a stool softener. And it was supposed to be hold. I'll never forget. It was supposed to be in hold because the patient was going to go in for some kind of endoscopy. But the girl that was spotting me, who was supposed to have been watching me do things and helping me know how to catch certain things, she didn't read the orders all the way, and she just let me go give it. And then she finally comes back and said, "Oh, we weren't supposed to give that. They're going in for a procedure. Somebody didn't mark the orders. It was written here 2 days ago." I said, "Well, I wasn't even here 2 days ago." So yeah, and that teacher at that time was even trying to tell me, "Oh, I don't know why you're in this program. Your people are only good for just cleaning our house and taking care of our children." And I went to the dean and told the dean what she said to me. She had to formally apologize to me, clean it up. And then I remember walking out of the office and she had that look on her face like, "Can't believe I had to apologize to you, look, in order to keep my job because you reported me." And I turned around and looked at her and I said, "I want you to know it's going to give me great pleasure to walk across that stage, get my pen for my license as finishing the nursing program. But also on that day, I'm getting my degree, which is the first time ever done here, all on the same day. There you go. I won't let you pin me. My parents will pin me." And I walked the hell out. So I got pictures of that day and me smiling. Look at this face. So that's why I say to you what I say. Thank you for everything you do. Yes, philosophy teacher, awesome grade to perform my proposal. Yes, that stuff stays with you. It really does. Okay, let's dive into it. I got the rattling going on, but I just had to share that with you because things happen, and a lot of times you think that nobody's witnessing you. You think nobody sees or hears the things you do. You're being watched, you're being seen by the utmost high. And that your whole realm of your ancestors and the divine ones, they are making note of all the things you do. It's not being unseen. It's not being taken for granted. It just doesn't have to come in the way that you think it needs to come in. They have a better way, they'll send it to you. And they always send the gifts with a big bow on it to let you know, we saw you. You're not alone. Okay? So let's jump into it. I almost gave myself an asthma attack. I know, I go from this to, I almost, with these cards. Because, well, I don't know, I was feeling a little bit like, kind of like in the boredom and stuff. And please, anyone that was listening, don't get triggered or anything. I'm just talking about the behaviors of some people that weren't very nice, that were representing places of teaching, and what that energy was like at that time. Okay, those were old timelines. Okay, so anyway, I pulled a card out of this one, and it was the mystery, had the skull on it, and I thought, this is what I'm talking about. You got to pay attention to this. This is going to be happening to you. And I just thought real quick, and I said, wouldn't it be fun if I get the same card in this one too? And I did. I had to take a picture and put it in a private group. I said, I almost gave myself asthma, you guys. Because when it came out, I went, oh! Just can't stop. So we're going to dive into this, and I'm going to give you some codes. But before, thank you. I'm going to do the codes real quick so that you have them. So make sure you have water. Get your water. There's going to be quite a few. And we've had these codes before, So they told me to give them again because you're going to need them. And it'll help with the transition of some of the codes that you'll be receiving this week from the sun. And just know some people who are going through a lot of process for themselves and stuff, they are probably going to really be hit kind of hard with the energies, depending on how much stuff your body has gone through. It has been inundated with undivine things. Okay? They're going to be processing the hardest. Not kidding. It's going to be very, very high. All right. Okay, the first one, I'm not going to tell you what they're for, but let's just put it like this. It'll help with clairvoyancy. It'll help with intuition and third eye and self-attunement of healing of the body. Okay. Okay, first one. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is a long code. $888, 88, 49, 49, 21, 67. Activate, divinely align, accelerate, amplify. Okay, the next codes are 35, 98, 6. Activate, divinely align, amplify, accelerate. Thank you for sending this code. Okay, the next one is 918, 79, 481, 81. Anchor, activate, align, accelerate, amplify. Thank you. And the last set is 88, 44, 242. Divinely align. Accelerate. Activate. Okay. Breathe that in. That's activated into your water. Take a drink of that. Half of it, and then put more water in to your glass. And you will have that for this week. All right. Let's look at the star codes. Oh my gosh, one leaked out. Oh my gosh, I can't get a handle on it. Jeez. It's alive. Okay. Okay. Okay, and then from the ancestors. Angels and ancestors cards, what's the message for us today? What's going to get us through what part of this week? I think we have another portal coming up. This one is the Star Wisdom. Okay, the Earth Magic one. Okay. Then the Divine Masters. Let's see what they say. And then the activational portals. You know, I was watching Lily Nova, and she was talking about the her trip to Egypt, and she was showing pictures of all the beautiful different type of parts of the temple that she was walking into, and the part that had the tall goddess figures, Hathor, that was on there, and how they defaced it. All of them were like defaced where you couldn't see the faces. And I said, when she made a statement about because of Lyran and the war at the time, Lyran and the things that were happening with the reptilians and draconians when that war was happening, that defacement of a lot of those statues that happened were on those timelines where they took over and they had really annihilated a lot of the Lyrans. So their defacing part of those statues was to say that they won and that they took over. And that's why you see a lot of that. But it's just also a part of when those energies come into a watery planet, they have to try to erase as much of the people's connection to it so they can have control over whatever's left. Okay? So I just was looking at that and I was like, that makes a lot of sense about that. So our message, ooh, dang, yes, I love it. This is good. This is good. This is good. Okay, so our star codes, we have Juno, which is partnership. Partnership. We got that number, what is it? 31. Partnership. So what's the partnership going to be like? The Libra in full moon last night, that energy is all about taking a look at where are you sitting in relations to self and what are some of those boundaries, what's coming up. So what moves in, and this is interesting, we've been seeing a lot of this symbolism of this Jupiter abundance, and I want you to pay attention to the picture. Pay attention to the picture. Hold on, let it get centered. Okay, you see how those golden rings are around it? And lately we've been seeing a lot of different people talking about things and they're showing those rings moving. This is all about the sun, how it hits Stonehenge and it makes the light that goes up to the top of the firmament and it crosses on the top. So when I was seeing it, one of those TikTok thingies had showed the diagram of it, and I've said, oh, that's why we keep seeing these things where people are moving these little ringlet things back and forth and blah blah blah. And I said, what are they doing? They're showing how when they move them, line them, is when it's opening and it's resetting itself. That's what they're trying to show. So that's very interesting that this is on here and it's showing this ring thing. Okay, because they've been showing that a lot lately. Okay, and it has a 23 on it and it's about the abundance. So we're going to see a lot of shifting money-wise. Of course, we've been waiting for that alignment to really anchor. We're waiting for the alignment to anchor. Okay, hasn't fully anchored yet. We got it. It's like this. Got to get that timeline. Got to jump on it. We got to anchor it. And they're chasing it because there's a lot of distractions going on that's knocking out the possibilities of higher timelines that's going to turn the key to access more stuff. But still, there's things still going on that's, still being hidden. We don't want them to know this. We don't want them to know that. Here's the thing. The more we accelerate, the more we align, the more we sync up, the more we allow ourselves to code up and integrate it, we will have access to that. Okay? So we don't need them to divulge anything. We can find out just by tapping in There you go. So we get around now. We go over the wall. There you go. Fire guardian. Ignite your passion. Ignite your passion. So get that fire, but move in a harmony with yourself. Because you are, we got this again, Star Child. Star Child. This is second time we got this one. Star Child. All the communications coming in that aligns it. What activates it is an activational wind. Activation wind. Now that wind's going to be coming in with that solar. And in that solar is the messages that comes from Thoth. And this is the divine magic. The teacher awakes, the student becomes the master. Isn't that something? I was talking about teachers. Look at that. Somebody was listening. Wonder who that was. And then what I've been saying all day today, the sword of light. Divine protection, cord cutting, breakthrough energy. It's time to get those swords up and things that just don't need to be in your space. Just cut those energies away. In order to go to the new level, we have to let go of the old. And this is where a lot of us are struggling because of the mind-controlled, brainwashing belief that we have been under. This is probably going to be the most challenging thing about know thyself. If you stay in it to win it, to know thyself, you break free from everything that you're seeing around you. And you can literally look at it and say, you know what? This shit ain't real. You ain't real. This whole thing. And you'll be like Triple X. How he was sitting in the diner and he's like, oh, I know the stock market isn't open on a Sunday. He's reading a newspaper on a Sunday about the stock market. And then I know what really blew it. You want to know how you blew it? This one right here, this lady. My aunt was a waitress for blah, blah, blah. She would have never came in wearing heels. I was laughing when he said that. You're never wearing heels. So it's kind of looking at things from a perspective of how much realism of what you think is real are you going to keep in your reality and give energy to it of being real. Your attention flows where your energy and thoughts go. So a lot of times what the old ones would say, in a lot of those mythic type of movies, they would say we were forgotten. They forgot about us. They stopped praying to us. They stopped thinking about us. They stopped doing rituals. They forgot about us. The old gods. They forgot about us. Because nobody was still doing everything to try to keep their attention. The new gods have arrived. And they've been here all along. They look like you and me. They look just like you and me. But there's one thing that we have that tells us apart from the others. We are divinely connected through the sacredness of our heart. That's the difference. Not through our mind. We come through the first one, and that's the heart. Because that was the one that formed in the first spark that started you, was your heart. And if you're in your heart and you stay in your heart, it will guide you. That's simple, and straightforward. All right, lovelies, it's been my pleasure to be here this day on this portal and just to kind of sit with you and spread a little aha moments, put a smile on your face and make you go, So I ask each and every one of you to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I'm looking at, we do have another portal on Tuesday. How interesting. That one's going to be the white solar wind. And that's when we're going to get hit with most of that solar stuff on Wednesday. Yeah, I bet be coming on chit-chatting, preparing for that one. Because this is in alignment with everything that's going on. It's lining up with it. Elementary, everything is just lining up. All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. Much love. I will talk to you later and see you then. Be so light, like and subscribe. Stay in your light. And remember this. You are worthy, you are deserving, and you are loved.